Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We're located here in Fredrick, Colorado. My name is Denise. También hablo español para los que ocupen ayuda con alguien que les pueda dar servicio en español. Aquí estoy a sus servicios. And today behind me we have a 2026 model. So this is a 2026 Cimarron Norstar 3-horse slant load in the back stalls. This guy is the RTG package, so it's got a little bit more than just your standard, and we're also looking at like these silver metallic sheeting, so it's not just that regular white color that majority of inventory has. So we'll start up here in our front tack, and we'll also pull up the drawing for you guys so you guys can take a look at that. Our length is 18 feet floor length, so we got 18 feet from the floor. We were looking at 6'10" wide, and our height is 7'1". Our gooseneck length is 8'2", so from where the tack starts to the front nose of the trailer is 8'2". Now we'll get started down over here where our tack room is. So we are looking down here at a 44-inch step to get into our tack room door. Our door is 42 inches. So you do have that little bit of a push to be able to step on your actual step to get into your tack room, so you don't have to go strictly running off of the running board here or just trying to make that jump up there. As we kind of look up here, we are looking at our 3-tier saddle rack. This guy is on a gas shock, so it does go in and out. It swings outward, so you guys can kind of have it like this, and you know, you have a little bit more visibility when you're trying to work out of your trailer this way. You can kind of pull and just load on top of your horse, etc. These guys are fully removable, fully, you know, up to whatever you guys really want to do with them. If you want to add another one to it, you definitely can. If you want to, you know, take one out and you're only going to be hauling 2 horses at a time, definitely doable as well. Now we'll take a look at our door here. So as I mentioned, this is a 42-inch door. So this guy down here, we're looking at just our standard brush box. So you have a couple of holes that are actually in the bottom of the box itself. So you're able to kind of put your fly spray in there if you would like. Little things like that are gonna leak or something, they'll easily drain from the bottom. You can also, like I mentioned, just add any brushes or anything like that to it, making it a little bit easier to maneuver your things that way. And you're also looking at a swing out blanket rod. So you have 4 rods on this guy. These guys are just standard on it. You can't really add or remove, but you do have an extra one in case you were to need it. And as I mentioned, it is fully extendable, but you can also just work from it like this. You don't really have to pull it out if you don't want to. And you are looking at just that standard bus window on top to give you a little bit more airflow going into this trailer itself. Just to air out, you know, your saddles, your blankets, all that kind of stuff. Now we'll take a look inside our trailer. We'll start with the flooring. So as you guys can tell, we are looking at just that rubber flooring. These guys are 2 pieces. You are connected down here. I mean, you're more than able to power wash this guy out, you know, those kind of things. If it was to get a bunch of hay or something in here, you definitely can. It's a very nice, just standard rubber mats on here. Now we'll go up to our gooseneck drop wall. So you guys are looking at a fully carpeted nose area here. You can throw really anything, use this guy as storage if you would like, or literally just put a bed in here if you want. If you're gonna be showing out of here and you need somewhere to sleep and you want to add just like that standard mattress, you definitely can. You have a lot of space in this guy. Now you are looking at 2 bus windows, 1 on each side, so passenger and driver side. You have those 2 fully sliding bus windows. And then we'll take a look up here at our roof. As you guys can tell, we do have that AC unit that you're more than capable of adding to the trailer if you guys would like. It's already built and equipped for one. It would just be a matter of you guys deciding whether you want to add this guy to your trailer or not. And then going down the gooseneck wall, we are looking at that boot box. So this is a 12-inch boot box. You know, you have a lot of space to kind of add it. Use it as storage if you want, or, you know, if you're going to be putting a bunch of your boots, little things like that that you don't necessarily want to have out in the open to get all thrown around in here as you guys are driving down the road. you're more than able to just add those guys to that. Now, looking at this driver's side wall, we do have a shelf up here. So this guy does give a lot of clearance here. So if you're wanting to put something in here and you're afraid it's gonna fall or anything like that, you definitely can put it. And this guy, I mean, you are looking at pretty much good clearance here. So your stuff won't just be moving around and up there as well. If you're afraid of them falling onto the ground, etc. And we're also looking at a clothes rod. So you can add basically anything you really want. If you guys are using this trailer during, you know, winter season where there's a lot of rain, there's a lot of snow, you know, anything like that where it's super cold and you want to hang up your jackets, you can here. If you're showing out of this trailer and you want to hang up your show shirts, you definitely can. You know, jeans, really anything that you want to hang on here, you definitely have the ability to do that. And it's really nice. I mean, it's a really long rod, so you guys definitely have a lot of space to do that in here as well. Now we'll look at this wall down here. As you guys can see, your bridle hooks are sitting on this middle wall. You have a couple of bridle hooks on each. You have 6 on the top, 6 on the bottom, and you are looking at that carpet behind them. So this will minimize the actual sound that goes into the stall area, so your horses aren't freaking out as you guys are driving down the road, because this is kind of noisy, it's kind of loud, and you don't want those things banging up against here. So it's kind of nice that they're gonna kind of going against the carpet itself on this one. Now, behind our saddle rack, this is where we normally would store our water tank. So we're looking at a 25-gallon water tank, and then you do get a 10-foot water hose. So this guy, the way you would operate is you fill from the top, and then you would just connect the hose to the bottom. If you want to pull this guy out and use the hose outwards, you know, really, if you want to water down your horse, you know, really anything. If you guys are carrying your dogs in here and they got kind of stinky and you need to water them, that's doable. You can also just put a bucket sitting on the bottom and you open that guy, and that's how you'll get some water going into that actual bucket itself. Now, on top of our door here, we're looking at our light. So you have that LED awning type light. This guy gives you a lot of visibility. This will be the only one you have inside of this tack room, but I don't believe, I mean, in this space, you don't necessarily would need another light in here. And then the way to operate this guy is your light switch is hanging off of this passenger side. This is just one switch, so it's fairly easy to operate, turn on and turn off on here, just like that. And again, I mentioned to you guys that silver metallic sheet color, so it's a little bit more than just that white that we have to offer most times. This guy comes with that silver metallic. If you want something a little bit, you know, with the pop of color that's gonna bring some light to your trailer, this color is definitely it. I am literally in love with this color. It is such a nice color. Now we'll take a look here at our hip side of our trailer. As you guys can tell, I have some of the windows down. So these guys are drop downs on a bus window. So you don't have Joe bars on this side. You just have your standard drop down windows, and then you got that bus window as well. So if you don't want to have the entirety of the drop down essentially, if you just want to leave your window closed like this, slide the bus window and you get a little bit more airflow in that guy. Now you do have 3 tie hooks on the hip side. If you want to maneuver off of this end of your trailer, you definitely can. You have those 3 tie hooks. On the very top, you do have that 16-inch type awning light, so you do get some light coverage on this end of the trailer if you're working out of it at a show or anything like that, and it's getting super late, you don't have very much visibility. That guy is definitely very useful when it comes to that. Now, our axles, we're looking at 2 6,000-pound rubber torsion axles. We're working off of electric brakes. These tires are aluminum black spoke wheels, and then you have 16-inch tires. So you kind of have a little bit more of an upgrade than just that standard, you know, aluminum wheel that we normally always carry on these guys. As I mentioned, it is the RTG package, so you get a little bit more with this one. We do have, you know, your fender light on here as well. It gives you a little bit more clearance, a little bit more light on this end of the trailer. Now we'll work our way to the rear end, where we'll kind of go into our stall area. Now this guy, we're working off of 60/40 doors. So 60 would be this, the one on the hip side. The one on the head side is your 40. You can kind of leave the 40 closed and use the 60. You still get a lot of clearance to get your horses in and out of this guy. I do want to touch on Cimarron's flooring super quick, so we'll kind of bring this guy up. So this is Cimarron's standard flooring. So we're working off of aluminum flooring, and every 4 inches you have a V truss. So what that essentially means is your horse is never going to be sitting on, sometimes on those wood floorings we're looking where you kind of have an odd end of the deal, essentially, where you don't get very much for your horse to have support on his legs. So these guys, you have a V every 4 inches. If your horse is not sitting on one, he is sitting on 2 of those V's, and it just, maximizes support as far as their hoofs go, their legs, that kind of stuff. So you can almost assure your horse is never not going to be standing on any type of support on these guys, So you'll definitely have that maximum support on this trailer for your horse. We'll also take a look here at our 60 door. You guys are working off of that bus window on there. So if you want to keep your window shut and you just want to open all your bus windows, you do have another one accessible in that 60 rear door. On this guy, we're looking also at our 8-inch awning light over here. So your load light as well. You get a lot of clearance whenever you're getting ready to unload or load your horse and it's super late at night. That light definitely gives you a lot of visibility as far as that goes on this guy. Now this one here, we're looking at that butt strap for that last stall. Don't have a divider, obviously, so if your horse tends to want to automatically push back whenever you open doors, this guy will obviously stop him in his tracks. They're not going to go anywhere. They're essentially just going to stop there. If you don't need it, you got your hook on this side, you just rehook it, and this guy just sits and stays on this end of the trailer or that end. It really doesn't matter. And with Cimarrons, as you guys probably already know, we're working off of a spring-loaded divider. So the minute you guys come in here and you go to, open your trailer, if you're walking in with your horse, sometimes and the latches get stuck and we can't really open them as we're loading both the horse in one hand and the other hand we're trying to get this guy to open. This one will automatically push. So you automatically get that clearance, and this guy will just want to stay there. So if you're loading in this one and you're kind of coming up, hooking up your horse, you get a lot of clearance as far as that divider goes because it gives you this whole entirety space. Now this one will be the same exact thing, running off of that spring load as well, and you get a lot of clearance for that first stall whenever you're loading that first horse. Now, our first divider, we're looking at a full stud divider. It is completely padded both sides of your divider. This guy, we're looking at just your standard divider, but it will also be padded on both ends of this guy. Now, we'll show you guys this front stall over here. We're looking at an escape door for the very front stall. You do have that chest bar, so your horse is not going to go anywhere if you do plan to open that end right there. This is where your latch kind of is, and I'll show you guys on the other end the double security that this door has, so you can always assure that your horse is not going to fidget with it and then just accidentally push the door while you're in the middle of the road, We do have 2 tie hooks at the very top of this stall. You also have them at the very top of that one. And then as it's a 3-horse, we do have 3 air vents on this roof. So you push it out, push it in, you pull air in and out of this trailer itself. We do have 2 LED lights on here as well. So one in the very front, one in the very back, gives you clearance visibility for all 3, the entirety of the length of your stall area here. Now we'll touch on the roof a little bit. These guys are fully lined and insulated. Your roofs, you can almost assure that your roof is not going to get damaged. Nothing is really going to happen. We had a customer come in and he was telling us about the really bad hailstorms that we've been having here lately, and he said his Cimarron was literally intact compared to his fully aluminum trailer that he has. So these guys, you're getting quality, you're getting all that kind of stuff with these type of Cimarron trailers. So you have your lined and insulated roof, And again, you can almost ensure that guy is almost never gonna have any hail damage or anything of that sort to it. Now we are working based off of kick mats all around the bottom half of your trailer, and then just standard white sheeting on the top. So you do have kick mats going all throughout the 3 sides, front and 2 on here. And then again, that rubber mat that just sits on top of that flooring that we were already speaking about with this trailer. Now I'm going to show you guys super fast where to work your lights for this guy. So on your Cimarrons and kind of almost all of them, your switches are going to be out here. So these will be your switches to turn on your lights for both head and hip side on the exterior, as well as all your interior lights, and then your back load light. So these guys, these 2 is what's going to turn on your sides, and then these 2 is what's going to turn on your back load light, as well as your interior stall lights. Now, as you guys can kind of tell on this trailer, we do have your brake lights, but you're also looking at a white X on it. What the white X is just your backup lights, so it gives you a little bit more clearance. You have 4 brake lights, and all 4 of your brake lights, you'll have that X, and you know, the X brings a lot of clearance and visibility as far as backing up into the spot you're trying to go into, whether it's super late and you can't see, or just whether you don't have anybody to help you kind of back up your trailer and you don't get enough visibility from the front end. You definitely will get a lot from the rear end as far as backing up into that parking spot you're looking to get into. Now we'll turn to our head side, kind of looking at the head view of this trailer. Again, these guys on this end, you'll have that drop down window, but you'll get that gel bar with these drop down windows. Now these windows, if you were wanting to, you definitely could ride with your window down completely. This guy will lock into the socket that's right here. So you just, you know, push your window down, you lock it, and you can assure this guy's not going to go anywhere. And same goes for your gel bar. I mean, that guy's not going to go anywhere. Now if you wanted to drop your gel bars, you do have to get kind of the little opening that you do have on the side of these guys to kind of, you know, pull it outwards that way, and then to put it back in, I kind of just do that and then just lift this guy up, and it'll just kind of push into place itself like that. And then you just go ahead and you shut that guy. I mean, if you have a horse that doesn't like to ride with the windows down, you can put it up, and your other horse does, you definitely can do that as well for them. Now your escape door will have that drop down window as well, with the gel bars and the bus window. So it'll be the same as this guy. Now, as I was mentioning to you guys, on the inside stall, this is your escape door. So we saw kind of the latches on here where you guys, you know, I was kind of telling y'all about how you'll get a little bit more security once you actually shut this door and it's completely shut for your horse. You, as you can tell, you get that butterfly latch. If you wanted to, this guy does have a lock, so you can always put your key in there, lock it, and you can ensure, I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. Even if your horse fidgets with the actual latch of the door from the inside, I mean, there's no way he's going to get to this guy out here. So you do have that double security, you know, peace of mind that you know your horse is not going to be fidgeting and accidentally open this guy as you guys are driving down the road. Now on this one as well, for your head side, you are looking at that awning light as well. You get some clearance if you're working off of the head side of the trailer. I mean, just, you know, standard, your 3 tie hooks as well, same as other side. Kind of those little things that are just standard features that you saw on the other side will also be included on this side of your trailer. Now we'll come up to our nose area kind of to show you guys a little bit about this end. So we're working off of a single electric over hydraulic jack system. You do have a battery, so you got a 12-volt battery package on here, and a lot of you guys have, some of you haven't seen, Cimarron does offer a battery disconnect switch. So what this guy is, every time, I mean, you're gonna get ready to start your trailer, kind of get ready to hit the road, turn your battery disconnect switch on, and that's what's gonna also power your jack. So you'll get that battery powers to be able to power your jack up and down, regardless whichever one you're wanting to do, as well as give you, you know, light inside of your trailer. So if you're wanting to unhook your trailer and you're needing to take your truck elsewhere and you don't, obviously your truck is not going to have any power going into the trailer itself, keep your battery disconnect switch on, and that guy is going to power the inside of your trailer. Now, if you guys are parked and you're not going to use your trailer, let's say 2 to 3 days at a time or something, make sure you completely turn that guy off so you don't have to worry about coming to back up into your trailer, pick it up, and you accidentally, you know, left it on and you don't have any battery anymore, because that would suck. So just remember, every time you're done with it, turn the battery disconnect switch off as long as you're not going to use it anymore. It's fairly easy to do that, guy. I mean, it's just a switch. You flip it to one side and it's completely shut off. Now we are working with a full-size spare tire at that. So you guys do have a full-size spare tire. It's lifted a little bit more than normal on some of these trailers because we do have to give some space for your jack to be able to function itself, and you know, you wouldn't get enough clearance for the tire, so it's lifted a little bit more. But in my opinion, it's a lot easier to pull this guy in and out as far as that goes. Now on this end of the trailer, working up on top here is where your switch to lift or lower your trailer is at. You also have your lever to manually crank your jack. So this guy, it does have a manual override. So if you guys were ever in a situation where you would need to use your manual override, you do have the option to do that, and your lever just stores on the head side of your trailer. It has a little system there where it just stays, and that's where that guy will, basically where its home is at. Now we have a 7-plug connected to this trailer as well. We have it connected to our little box right now to give us a little bit of power to turn our lights on. But this guy, you do have your 7-plug for standard on this one. You are also looking at your safety chains and then your breakaway chain as well. Please, you guys, whenever you're using your trailers, even if it's just move it down the road, use your safety chains. You never know what can happen. We're also looking at that B&W coupler on here. It's fully adjustable. I mean, if you guys need to drop it down, if you guys need to lift it up, you definitely can. It's more than doable. It's just that standard latch on here, as we have seen with all of our trailers. Now looking up into the actual nose, we're looking at the polished stainless steel nose. So you get a little bit more of an upgrade. You know, you have this kind of almost mirror looking, which is very nice. I actually do really like it. It just adds a little bit more to the trailer, since there is a little bit more of that silver stainless steel that kind of has a little bit of those features. So it is very, very, you know, nice, and also nice to look at. But again, you guys, as I was saying in the beginning of the video, this trailer, this is a 2026 Cimarron Norstar 3-horse gooseneck. Our stock number is 5N250413. Now, if you guys were to have any questions on this trailer, any questions on any of the trailers that are out on our lot, please feel free to give me a call. This is my cell phone number. This is also the office number, and you guys are looking at my email address on here as well. You can reach me any of these 3 ways, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys, whether it's this trailer or any other trailer on our lot. Otra vez, como les dije en el principio, mi nombre es Denise, también hablo español para los que ocupan servicio en español. Este viene siendo mi número de teléfono, este viene siendo el número de la oficina, y también están viendo mi correo electrónico. Cualquiera de estas me podrían contactar y así yo les podría dar servicio en español a cualquier pregunta que ustedes tengan, ya sea si sea en esta traila o sea en cualquier otra traila que tenemos aquí disponibles, o si no es una que tenemos disponible y es algo que usted quiere hacer a su gusto, también le podemos ofrecer este servicio. Así que si tienen cualquier pregunta, por favor, márquenme, mándenme un correo electrónico o simplemente venir a nuestra locación y preguntan por mí, yo aquí les puedo dar servicio. Now, you guys, like I mentioned, if you have any other questions, please let me know. But if not, again, 2026 Cimarron Norstar 3-horse gooseneck.